Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is Hidden Histories, the Untold Files. You know, living in New York, you get used to seeing history in layers. You'll have a sleek glass tower right next to a building from the 1800s, and it just works. But recently, I took a drive up to Newport, Rhode Island, and I saw a structure that doesn't fit into any layer. It's a tower, a rough, circular stone tower with 8 arches sitting quietly in a park. It looks ancient and completely, utterly out of place. And the question it asks is so simple. It's haunted historians and amateur sleuths for centuries. Who on earth built this thing? That's what we're investigating today. Episode 4. Who really built the Newport Tower? Officially, it's called the Old Stone Mill. The standard history, the one you'll find on the plaque nearby, says it's the remnant of a windmill built by Benedict Arnold, the early colonial governor of Rhode Island. Not the traitor, the other one, sometime around 1675. But from the moment European settlers really started paying attention to it in the 1700s, they were puzzled. It didn't look like anything else they'd built. The style was off. And so, an alternative theory was born, one far more tantalizing. What if this tower wasn't colonial at all? What if it was medieval? What if it was built by Vikings? The Viking hypothesis is incredibly seductive. The tower's architecture, with its 8 pillars and round design, bears a striking resemblance to medieval Norse churches, particularly the 12th century round churches you find in Scandinavia, like one in Orfeer, Scotland. Proponents point to the Vinland sagas, the Norse tales of exploration, which mention Leif Erikson reaching North America around the year 1000. Could later Norse explorers, maybe Knights Templar fleeing persecution, have sailed here and built this as a church or a watchtower? In the 1940s, a Danish archaeologist even claimed the tower was aligned to certain solar events, like the solstice sunrise, in a way a 17th century miller wouldn't care about, but a medieval Christian builder might. For a long time, this was a classic historical mystery, fought over in academic papers and popular books. Then, science stepped in. In the 1990s, archaeologists conducted mortar analysis. They took samples from the tower's mortar and compared them to mortar from undisputed 17th century colonial buildings in Newport, like the Wanton Lyman Hazard House. The results were clear. The chemical signatures matched. They even found fragments of 17th century colonial plaster inside the tower's mortar. This seemed like a smoking gun. Case closed, right? It's Governor Arnold's mill. But here's where it gets fascinating, and where the real hidden history lies. The science didn't end the debate, it just changed its shape. Because the tower's design is still a massive, stubborn anomaly. Why would 17th century Puritan colonists, who built in a very specific, rectangular, post and beam style, suddenly, and only once, construct this complex, circular, arched stone building? They had no tradition of it. It would be like me, an engineer used to writing software code, suddenly deciding to build a cathedral using 14th century Gothic techniques. It doesn't track. So, a third, more nuanced theory has emerged, and to me, it's the most compelling of all. It's not either Viking or colonial. It's about the flow of ideas. This is the theory of architectural memory. In the 1600s, the American colonies were not a cultural vacuum. Governor Benedict Arnold was a well-traveled man. He'd been to England, to the Netherlands. He would have seen old Norman towers and windmills. Perhaps he even had an English or Irish stonemason in his employ who carried the memory of older building styles in his hands. The Newport Tower might be a colonial building, yes, but one built in a deliberately antiquated style, a nostalgic echo of an older world repurposed for a new need. It's a relic, but not of a medieval voyage. It's a relic of the colonial mind, a piece of transplanted memory made stone. Standing there, looking up at those arches, I thought about my own life. I was born in Bangladesh, a land crisscrossed by the ruins of ancient Buddhist monasteries, Mughal forts, and colonial-era buildings. Now I live in Manhattan, an island of relentless newness. We all carry architectures inside us. The shapes of the homes we knew, the temples or mosques or churches we grew up seeing, the skylines that define our present. It's not so hard to imagine a homesick colonial governor in a raw new land, wanting to build something that felt solid, permanent, and connected to an older identity. The tower isn't a mystery because it's alien. It's a mystery because it's a hybrid. It's a conversation between the past and the present, built by someone standing at that exact crossroads. So, who really built the Newport Tower? The physical evidence tells us the hands that laid the stone were likely 17th century colonists. But the inspiration for its form? That could be a story passed down through generations, a half-remembered sketch from an old country, a deliberate choice to make a statement that was both practical and profound. It's a testament to the fact that history is never a simple, single story. It's a palimpsest, a parchment where older writing is still faintly visible beneath the new. The Newport Tower refuses to give up a single origin story, and maybe that's its greatest power. It forces us to question, to look closer, to hold multiple possibilities in our minds at once. In a world that often demands easy answers, the tower stands as a beautiful, stubborn monument to complexity. Thanks for joining me for this investigation. I'm Abnul J. Farabi. If you enjoyed this deep dive into hidden history, please share this episode with a fellow mystery lover. For more Untold Files, make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. This has been Hidden Histories, a production of Light Knot Studios. Visit us at lightknotstudios.com. Until next time, keep looking closer.